Yo, let's go. This is the DansGolfWorld pod, the greatest golf podcast in the world. And we are so happy to be back here with you again today. I, of course, am your host, Dan Evans, joined by my faithful sidekick and producer, Mr. Josh Boger. Josh, how's it going, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
Oh, I am good. I'm tired. Been traveling. I've been around the world and back again. But we are here back in the DansGolfWorld studio. And I will tell you, it's good to be back, man.
It feels good.
You know what I mean? But I will say, though, I love to travel. I love to be on the road. I love being at golf tournaments and events. But I feel like, when I'm in the studio, that's when we really get to bring it all together. I'm capturing footage. I'm doing interviews. I'm all over the place. And when we get back here, we get to really get back to the grind of putting all the content together and making posts and having fun. And I feel like life is complete at the moment.
Yeah, and especially what we got going on right now. We recorded, a couple episodes we just never posted. We were trying to figure out what we were doing with this show.
Yeah,
And then one day we're like, let's build it in this corner and see what we could do with it. And it looks pretty sick. But someone needs to make his introduction.
Well, that's true. We're not alone here on the show, the two of us. We do have a third member of the podcast crew who is right here with us.
And I'm Gizmo, the golfing guru gnome. I'm uncensored and uncut, yes, both ways. For all the lady fans out there, I have about 7 John Dailies before every episode, so I don't even remember how I got here.
You're uncut? Wow.
Uncut.
This is Gizmo. He's joining us on the show. Be a regular here, giving his unhinged opinions and thoughts, whether we want them or not. He doesn't much care what we want to hear, because he's going to let us know either way.
Yeah, no matter what, Gizmo just speaks his mind, and we just have to run with it.
I just got back from Lake Tahoe. I was out at Lake Tahoe for the American Century Classic, the American Century Championship, the celebrity golf tournament. And I got to tell you what, Josh, I had no concept how awesome Lake Tahoe is. I've never been out that way. I've traveled the country. I've been around the world and back again. But that's a little piece of the world that I've never been to. And I knew it was going to be a magical trip on the drive in. I was staying up in Reno, and it was like maybe an hour drive down. And I'm telling you, the amount of change in the landscape from Reno down to Lake Tahoe, and here's what's incredible about it. You're driving, you leave Reno, you're in like this deserty area. It feels a lot like Vegas, you know what I mean? It's dry, it's dusty, it's whatever. And you start making your way up this mountain. I have no clue what the mountain's called. And you get to the top and everything changes. All of a sudden now you're in like this beautiful redwood forest. You're winding down, the weather changes, everything's different, and you start seeing Lake Tahoe. And it is magnificent, every square inch of it. And it really makes sense why this would be the home for the celebrity golf tournament. I mean, they're not going to bring these guys out to some slum. Of course, you're not going to get big names like Aaron Rodgers and the Kelsey brothers to show up at some, deadbeat golf course. And I'm going to tell you what, it was incredible. So I arrive on site, and how did I not know about this? Where have I been? Did you know that this tournament was going on like this?
Yeah.
You knew. Where have I been?
And I wasn't even like in the golf scene like less than a year ago.
Yeah.
And I've known about this because this is like celebrity events like this in any sport. Like right now, the All-Star game for the MLB's going on. They have the celebrity softball game. That's one of my favorite things to watch throughout the baseball season. Same thing with bowling, with the old CP3 event.
Yeah.
And
I don't know any of these.
And the American Century, that is one of my favorites because you get to see these guys and, they're not golfers. They say they're golfers now because they're either retired in their sport or...
They're like high-quality amateurs.
Yeah.
They're these people, I mean, these guys and gals, they love the game. They play. You could tell they play a lot. Some of these guys are quite addicted to the game, but they're by no means professionals. But I will tell you what, that did not take away from the fun of watching them play.
Oh, no. Yeah. It was electric.
It really was. And from the moment I got out there, I mean, it's everywhere you look. It in every direction is somebody from some world of celebrity profession, whether it's athletes, comedians. I mean, Bobby Flay's out there. You know what I mean? The Iron Chef.
He was cooking up some fillets in between shots.
They were letting him cook, Min Woo Lee style. And it was great. I think one of the coolest things really about it, I was sent out there on behalf of Sports Illustrated and SI Golf, and they said, Dan, we want you to get out there and get some interviews with the players. And they said, and the big key here is talk to them about golf.
Yeah.
You know, these guys, they don't want to discuss their football career or whatever. Bobby Flay's not trying to talk Iron Chef. These guys are out here for golf. And I'm like, this is my sweet spot. I mean, I can talk with any one of these guys about golf because that is among the very few things I do know about in the world of sports. So I kind of lucked out in that fashion.
And there were guys out there you wouldn't expect, like Chris Harrison.
Yeah,
like
a super nice guy. I mean, really, really nice. I'm very appreciative of him and how cool he was with his interview.
Yeah, he seems super cool. He's used to walking girls out and
he is,
and saying this is the final rose, but he was on his final shots there when he was playing.
He's got a good looking swing.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, it's smooth, it's groovy. Like, I mean, again, he's among the people that I was really impressed by watching them play and watching them swing the club. I'm like, these guys do have decent golf swings.
The one person that no one was impressed by, and this was actually going another home run derby thing, A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah.
He was on the panel the next day at the home run derby. Legends like David Ortiz and Derek Jeter, or they're giving it to him.
You know, I was in the press conference, and Austin Reeves was up on the podium or on the stage for the press conference. And I had asked him, I said, Austin, is there, this being your first time at this event, are there any celebrities here or athletes or anybody that you're really looking forward to meeting? And he said in the press conference, he said, I got to be honest, A-Rod.
He's a legend.
And he's like, when I met him, he was super cool, super nice. It was an awesome moment. But when the golf tournament got underway, I think he was pretty frustrated with his game, and that smile sort of disappeared, and he did not look like he was having fun during the practice rounds, at least when I was out there with him, because he kind of had like his head down, and he was just kind of marching along, getting to his ball. He did not have a great weekend of golf.
Oh, no, I saw a clip online of him hitting a tree and it coming like 6 inches from his head.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He chucked it, and the tree was maybe
Dumb ways to die.
Yeah, it was probably 5 yards right of him.
Wow.
Hit it. It was like me golfing, man. It was not a good shot.
There were some other guys out there that were taking the time for the fans. Blake Griffin.
He's awesome.
Super nice guy. Super cool. Great interview. I mean, a lot of these guys, I try to be quick. I get it. They're playing around to golf. They're out there to do their thing. And I'm not there to make it about me and hog up all the time. So I would try and make it quick. 3 to 4 questions, and I would catch them on the fairway. You know what I mean? Maybe after, they hit their drive, they're standing out over their second shot. I'd grab a few questions with them as they're walking up to the green or up to their third shot or wherever they were headed, and try to be quick. But some of these guys, they made it seem like it wasn't a bother, and they enjoyed participating in the interview, and he was one of them. But he also was signing autographs, as many as he possibly could. His group is already driving off in their other golf carts. He's still back, guys, one more. I gotta go. I'm holding up the whole tournament. I gotta go. He's like, okay, one more. And then he takes his one kid's Sharpie, and he's like, all right, speed signing. Just hold up whatever you want signed. And he took the one Sharpie and just signed 10 things as fast as he could, gives it back to the kid. And he's like, I gotta go. Meet me at the next hole. And so people are running after him. I think that was a lot of fun. Because that is something you're never going to see at a professional golf tournament. No. These guys, it's an obviously different scenario.
Yeah.
These guys are not in their career. This is not what they do for a living. This is for fun, for bragging rights, for
charity.
And camaraderie. I know a lot of these guys, they look forward to, they call it a family reunion every year. But it is a different thing when you get to a standard pro golf tournament. You're not going to be standing at the tee box, yelling out whatever, Patrick Cantlay, whatever. Come sign my my favorite thing I saw. Somebody brought wooden spoons for Bobby Flay to sign.
Really?
How classic.
That is sick.
Yeah, nobody's bringing out wooden spoons or Hatgate hat for Patrick Cantlay or something aside.
Jason Kelsey signed a baby.
Did he sign a baby?
Yeah, he signed a baby shirt. Yeah, on the back. I thought they were going for the forehead, and they turned the baby around. I'm like, that's not
full on Ricky Bobby moment. Just sign the baby's face.
That would have been hilarious.
Well, I will tell you, you know, the last pro golf tournament I was at was Live Golf Nashville, and the one just before that I was at the U.S. Open, and talk about a different vibe from, you know, the fun and the energy here at the American Century to those final moments at the U.S. Open where Bryson DeChambeau's coming down the home stretch, Rory McIlroy's hanging on for dear life.
Oh yeah.
And on 18 misses that putt. And I feel like, you know, this has been talked about now for weeks, but it's something that sort of will live on. I mean, the majors are a big moment. We've got the British Open next week or whatever. And finally, Rory came back and actually had his first interview since then.
Yeah.
Which was nice. It was good to finally hear from him because he did dart out of the U.S. Open and he took a little sabbatical. He said, I'm not going to play pro golf for the next few weeks. I need a little break. And then he shows up in Scotland and finally decides to take the stage.
Yeah, I think Gizmo wanted to say what happened.
Gizmo's got something for us.
Yeah,
All right, let it
Gizmo
rip.
got something.
Rory McIlroy changed his phone number after choking the U.S. Open. I wonder if his wife knows about the new number or if she's been calling Bryson this past month.
No,
Gizmo.
Come on.
You can't be saying that now.
Dude, I feel like it's too soon.
He's a married man.
It's too soon. The wedding was, the marriage was off and now it's back on. Give the guy a little room. But he did. Rory changed his phone number.
That's nuts.
Dude, that's crazy. Do you think that he couldn't handle it? He wanted to shut the world out. He changed his number just to like have some silence? Or do you think he does this like every 9 weeks?
I think he did it for the silence.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I know celebrities change their phone numbers all the time, but, like, he's not that big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not...
I mean, he's pretty big.
He's not Scotty Scheffler. And I don't even think he changes his phone number.
Here's the thing. Scotty Scheffler is without a doubt above Rory McIlroy right now in his current game of golf. But I think in terms of global celebrity power, I think Rory McIlroy has him beat.
Yeah, probably.
Did you hear that? And the way it came up that he changed his phone number is one of the people in the media center at the press conference asked him how he felt about the text message from Tiger Woods, sort of consoling him on his loss. And he said, actually, I never got the text message. I changed my phone number and never told Tiger. So ultimately, he basically like stonewalled Tiger, like
which
a no
is
text
so
back.
Disrespectful.
That's brutal.
You don't do that to the GOAT.
You don't. I mean, there's a few. Michael Jordan, you text him back no matter what. Tiger Woods, you're going to text him back. You know, I don't know who else falls on this list of must text back. Taylor Swift.
Always text her back.
I would never leave her unread.
I would be on red for the rest of my life.
Yes.
Who else? Let's see. Robert Downey Jr. You always got to text
You got
back.
to. He's Iron Man. You know what I mean? Like, do you think he's going to show up with his glowing chest and like, rip your door off to see if you're okay?
Oh, yeah. Those people, you have to text back. If you don't, one, you're doing yourself a disservice. And two, you can't disrespect the kings.
You can't.
And queens. You can't disrespect them.
The GOATs are the GOATs for a reason. And they deserve respect from all people in all walks of life. And Tiger Woods is one of them. And I'm sorry, Rory McIlroy, you will go down in history as one of the greatest golfers. You are one of the most notable names on the planet in terms of golfers. But Tiger is the GOAT. The GOAT of GOATs.
The GOAT of GOATs.
Like, he's the GOAT that wears the GOAT chain. You know what I mean? That's the level of GOAT. It's like GOAT on GOAT.
He wears that home run chain.
He does. Before I went to the American Century, I also made a little trip down to North Carolina.
How was that?
Dude, it was pretty fun. I got to hang out with the gang from Almost Average Golf. Dude, cool guys.
I was watching some of their videos earlier, and they're pretty cool guys.
Really, really cool. We had a blast. They have this little challenge going on, and I'm not going to reveal the results of the challenge because it hasn't been posted on their social channels yet, so you'll have to stay tuned and check out the Almost Average Golf gang. I follow them on Instagram. They got a pretty lively Instagram, and it's a lot of fun. But they're doing a challenge where they have some friends or some guests or some other content creators come down and they play a scramble and they're trying to beat a score. And every time they beat it, that's sort of the new number to beat. When I went down there, the sort of score that was hanging on was 10 under for a scramble. Pretty solid score.
That's a solid score.
Solid score. And these guys, they said they've only been playing for like 2 years. So, I mean, they're not lifelong golfers. They're fairly new to the game in terms of golf.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Dude, I was watching them play.
Yeah, they got some good swings, good shots. So we went down there with the goal to beat the 10 under. I will not reveal whether or not we beat the 10 under. What I will say is I'm really looking forward to seeing the video being posted, because I do know we had some pretty cool shots.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. Yeah, you have to check them out. Almost Average Golf. Josh, what is going on in the DansGolfWorld.com world of golf news? What do you have for us?
All right, so if you guys don't know, we have a website, DansGolfWorld.com, where you get all your golf videos and news articles.
Highlights, you name it.
Highlights, everything.
We try to have it all.
This week, American Century, we already talked about it. Marty Fish, Olympic tennis player.
Yes.
Won a lot of stuff. He took second last year, and he's won in 2020. He won again this year.
He's back.
He scored an 83 in a modified Stableford scoring system, and that means instead of counting your total number of strokes for your round of golf, you will convert your score on each hole into Stableford points, and that's correlated about how you shoot. So a double eagle, albatross, 5 points. Eagles are 4 points. Birdies are 3. Pars are 2. Bogeys are 1. Double bogeys are 0. And then on, it gets in the negative.
Oof.
So
negative points are bad. That means you're triple bogeying.
Yeah.
That's tough. Tough day.
Star-studded lineup. Every big name was there that you wouldn't know who,
you name it.
You wouldn't know who wasn't there because they were posting everywhere.
Yeah, it was an absolute who's who. I mean,
yeah.
And I'll tell you what, there's a handful of golf tournaments that I go to and I say I got to go back, and this made the list. Like straight up made the list. But here's the one thing I learned: I'm staying longer.
Yeah,
I need more time there.
I told you should have stayed the whole week.
What am I doing? I was busy. I had to catch a flight back. A lot going on.
Yeah. And, plans got debunked, too. That's probably why.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. But just next year, we know. Better planning. Bryson DeChambeau aims for Tiger Woods' level greatness at the British Open. Bryson DeChambeau, fresh off his U.S. Open win, is setting his sights on a feat last accomplished by the legendary Tiger Woods in 2000 by winning the U.S. Open and British Open, which is the Open now, in the same year.
The Open.
DeChambeau knows that he could play well. He excels in majors. Was he placed in the last all majors this year? First, second?
I think he's top 10 every single one.
Yeah.
And he's been in contention. Every over and over again. It's unbelievable. He is in a place of golf right now. This DeChambeau level of golf, I think. And it doesn't look like he's slowing down, and it doesn't feel like a fluke.
No, and then people were asking him about how tough Royal Troon is going to play, because we looked at pictures. Yeah. It looks like hell.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like fairway-only type of play, and he says, I don't think it's possible to overpower it. He likes to hit the long balls, likes to hit it hard.
Yeah.
There are too many hazards around the fairways, even in the bunkers. You have to be very strategic out here. So he's going to be thinking, he's going to be putting his physics cap back on. He's going to be bringing out his Aspen salts. He's going to have his magical, magic carpet.
He's going to have his protractor and all that stuff out.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. And then the last one, as Dan said, he did go to Live Golf Nashville. This is just his video explaining all of his sights and sees and all the things you could do at a Live Golf event.
Yeah, I did. I really soaked up the Live Golf tournament. And I got to be honest, I truly enjoyed it. I really did. So if you haven't seen it yet, check out my video on Live Golf Nashville. It is on DansGolfWorld.com, or you can find it on Instagram or TikTok or anywhere else you can find Dan's Golf World content. But I kind of did a little bit of a sort of a deep dive into the world of the Live Golf events. And I went to 3 Live Golf tournaments in their first season in 2022. I didn't make any in 2023, and this is my first time back. And it was also interesting to see kind of their kickoff year, to see what the events looked like, and then coming back again after they've had some time. They've got some events under their belt.
Couple years.
And a lot has changed. I think they've done a great job improving. But check out the video. You guys can see my take and kind of get an inside look with me on what I saw from there, and jump in the comments. There's a lot of people in the comments. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah. Before we get into that, I
Yes.
also wanted to point out one of the main reasons, and this story's funny how he ended up going to Live Golf Nashville. So right off of DeChambeau's U.S. Open win, the Salty Balls viral moment.
That was
Dan.
huge.
Yeah. So
Huge.
So Dan decided he wanted to ask DeChambeau about his salty balls.
Well,
was it third round?
Yeah, it was the Saturday round, the U.S. Open, and at the majors. I've never seen this at a PGA Tour event, but at the majors, I've seen this as well as the Ryder Cup. They have these cool little earpieces that you wear, and they kind of like clip on your ear, and you can just listen in, which I love because you can keep up with the golf tournament from around the golf course. Let's say you're following a single player or you're stationary at a hole. Well, there's a lot going on everywhere. And the most you can do is kind of get on the app usually and see what the scores look like, maybe sit near a scoreboard. But these earpieces are wonderful because they keep you, really in the mix of the game. It's like the old guys who bring the radio to the baseball game and listen to the announcers.
I used to love seeing that, man.
It's old school. And so they give you that vibe here at the majors. Well, as I'm listening all day, as I'm walking around and getting video and taking pictures and doing my whole thing, they kept talking about this story with Bryson DeChambeau and how he has this unique process of taking his golf balls and floating them in an Epsom salt water solution. And then wherever the golf ball floats, that would be the balancing point of the ball. He takes a Sharpie and puts a little dot on there. And then he knows when he's hitting the ball that he can sort of use that as the point where the ball is going to start rolling end over end. It won't sort of wobble in the air. It's just like a tiny scientific edge that he thinks helps give him more control over the golf ball. Well, I'm listening to this and they keep talking about it on these radio pieces. And this term keeps coming to my mind, Bryson's salty balls. And I'm like, I've got a media pass so I can get in the press conference. I want to ask Bryson about these salty balls. But it's the U.S. Open. You know what I mean? It's my first time there. I'm here on behalf of Sports Illustrated. I can't get kicked out of this thing.
What did you do at the Masters?
I threw a couple zingers out there, but this was next level. I mean, I hit Bryson with the "What's up, brother?" The sketch thing. Had some fun questions for Scotty Scheffler, but I was now ready to push it to a new level, and I had to be tactful. I couldn't just throw salty balls out there into a press conference out of nowhere, and I came up with a strategy. I said, "Okay, here's how it went." I said, "Bryson, we've been listening to the earpieces all day. They've been talking about you floating your golf balls in the Epsom salt solution, or as the fans are calling it, the salty balls." I blamed it on the fans. There was not a single fan I heard say that, but I felt like it softened the blow and sort of took the pressure and the weight of that term off of me. He laughs instantly.
That's perfect.
Instantly laughs. I finish my question. He takes it away and he's like, "Thanks for the salty balls question." Boom. Instant viral classic. Like instant. I mean, did you see that thing? It was everywhere. You couldn't go anywhere and not see Bryson DeChambeau's salty balls.
So that weekend, right?
Yeah.
All my friends and family, they know about what we're doing here,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Did you see that DeChambeau clip about the salty balls?" I'm like, "That's Dan." And they're like, "No, it's not." I go, "That's Dan. He asked that question." They're like, "No way. It's not on his stuff." I go, "Well, he asked that, and everyone's posting it everywhere."
Yeah.
And
it was almost like the internet beat me to it. So I'm at the press conference. After the press conference, I head back to the media center. I've got to upload all my footage. I pack up my computer. I get on the shuttle bus that leaves the Pinehurst, takes us to the remote lot where all the media center people were parked. I get in my rental car. I drive back to my Airbnb. I hurry up and jump in the shower just because it's like a crazy day out there. It was hot and dusty, and finally sit down. I'm all cleaned up and fresh, and I get my computer out and I'm ready to start uploading this thing. I'm like, I've got a gem on my hands. I can't wait. And before I can even get this thing cut together and posted and up on any of my socials, it was everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Barstool had shared it. The U.S. Open shared it. The USGA shared it.
Yep.
Then it keeps going. And all of a sudden, it's like there's articles from CNN and the Wall Street Journal, like everywhere. So I started counting up, the following days, and I wanted to see what kind of impact this silly question I asked had. We came to a total of about 200 million views.
Yeah, it was nuts.
In a matter of like 2 days.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people don't know I asked the question. That is okay. I was just proud to be a part of the moment and happy to get to throw something out there that made such an incredible impact on the golf world.
It was such an impact that I got a text on Thursday that next week saying, yeah, I'm in Nashville.
It was Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
I'm in Nashville. I'm like, I think we were supposed to build a pool or something.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm in Nashville. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
okay. That's what we're doing. Because was that...
So here's what I heard. So I was planning on going to the Live Nashville tournament that weekend. The U.S. Open was the previous weekend. I was there. I flew home. I got in like late Monday evening, Monday night. You picked me up from the airport.
Yep.
It was awesome. I was home Tuesday, and then Tuesday afternoon, I get the press schedule for the Live Golf Tournament and the press conferences. And they said Bryson DeChambeau was going to be at the Live Nashville media room press conference at 10 a.m. Wednesday morning. And I'm like, I got to go see him. Like last time, we communicated was in the press conference at the U.S. Open. I want to be at his next golf tournament press conference. So landing home, getting back home Monday night, by Tuesday evening, I loaded up everything, packed up the car, and started driving to Nashville, about an 8-hour drive. I got in at like 2 o'clock in the morning, get a hotel room, whatever the whole thing. I'm back up at 8 o'clock in the morning, now getting on the media shuttle to get to the Live Golf event so I can get in and get my press credentials, get a spot in the media center, get a desk space where I knew that I could like get a good line on Bryson and get my hand back up and ask some more questions. And it was a wild week. And the greatest part was, he ended up sharing these videos on his social too. So Bryson shared our interaction on his Twitter. I think got like 2.8 million views alone. And I saw him. I was like, hey, Bryson, Dan here. And he was like, I know, Dan. I was like, this is great. What a cool moment.
He's like, hey, Trouble.
Yeah. And the best part was, so I had a few more questions for him, which I also posted on my socials. If you want to see the rest of the Bryson and Dan interaction, check out the Dan's Golf World Instagram or TikTok. Also on the DansGolfWorld.com. But the fun thing was after that press conference and asking those few questions, I said, hey, Bryson, can I grab a photo with you? Because he still had the trophy. He was carrying it everywhere for like that week. And the funny thing was I'm standing next to him like a big doofus, like smiling, like for the picture or whatever. And he's not like looking at the camera. He's like looking down and I don't know what's going on. I'm just smiling. Like I always know, make it quick. Be quick.
Yep.
Step in. I already have my phone already loaded up. I'm like, here, will you take this? So it's already set. They're like, what's your password? Whatever. And he was like, grab the trophy. He was looking down, like waiting for me to grab the other handle with him. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's a surprise.
Yeah. Like I wasn't even aware of what was going on. And so I grabbed the other half of the trophy with him and we get this really cool photo. Also post that on my Instagram. And it was just a cool moment. He's a really, really cool guy. I've really respected him and appreciated him for a long time. I mean, and this goes back. I'm not a fair weather fan sort of person. I legitimately, he uses those gigantic grips. They're called the Jumbo Max grips. I was even like following his theories on that golf equipment. And, oh, you're falling asleep.
Oh, no. It's the TV.
Oh, no.
I gotta press something. There we go.
And I even bought a set of the Jumbo Max grips to put on some clubs just because I've been following his scientific journey for a long time. I even went to a golf store and tried the single length, the one length clubs, just because I think he has some really interesting theories on a lot of that stuff. And I wanted to see where it was at and see if it fit any part of my game. I didn't end up using any of that stuff long term, but either way, I've been following his journey. So when I say I really respect him and appreciate him and think he's a cool dude, You know, it's not. I'm not one of these folks that just came on board a couple weeks ago. But I've really been following him for a long time, and I respect what he's done in golf, and I really appreciate the way that he has sort of fearlessly went in another direction, sort of against the grain of what a lot of golfers are doing.
And I was not a fan of him. I'll be honest. I was not a fan of him. And then I saw his like growth as a person.
Yeah.
And I'm not 100% a huge fan of him. You know, I'm not gonna be like on top of him, like kissing his ass or anything. But the growth I've seen from him, just becoming like a better person or something.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know him. Especially like with the beef with him and Koepka, like that's been squashed. Like they were going back and forth at
Koepka
it.
hated him.
Hated
him.
And he was the first person to congratulate him, and just how he carries himself now is like he's more mature. He knows what he needs to get done. He's not trying to be. I mean, he is really flashy, but that's just his game of golf. But he's down for business. Yeah. And it's so cool to see. But I know you wanted going back with the live stuff. You wanted to see what the comments were saying about that. Yeah, let's jump in there
because some folks had a lot to say.
Before we get off off track, it's been a minute since we did this, so let's get right back into it.
Go ahead. Thanks for keeping us on track here. That's why Josh is the producer of the show. You know what I mean? He's going to keep us on track because I'll be all over the place if not. But I posted this video about my experience at Live Golf Nashville, and the comments sort of took off. And I think the thing about Live Golf is it's very polarizing. Some people love it, some people hate it, and there's some people who are in the middle and they're not sure what to think about it. And so let's jump in here, go up to the top there, and let's see what we have for some comments. Let's see here. What do we got here?
We got nope, PGA Tour is still on top. Seems cool. The biggest issue is a shotgun start. No one likes that, I guess.
Here's the thing, though, about the shotgun start. What I do understand is events need to be a certain length.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, look at a football game, look at a baseball game, look at a basketball game, look at a hockey game, and then you have a round of professional golf, and it takes all day. I mean, you have people teeing off from 7 a.m. and people finishing up on the 18th green at 7 p.m. That's a 12-hour day.
Yeah.
And, you know, that is difficult. So I understand the point of attempting this. At the same time, I do respect the proper order of competition for, you know, say like a U.S. Open. We're going to whittle down. We have hundreds of thousands of people who would like to be in it. We have tens of thousands of people who actually get in it. It gets whittled down with multiple rounds, and we have the longest day in golf, and finally down to the field of just over 100 players. And then they are all going to play, and we are going to find out who this year's greatest golfer on the planet is.
Yep.
You know, not everybody can earn their way into the Masters. You know, This is different. So I get it. In that format, in that scenario where everybody starts on the first tee, everybody's going to play this course in the same order. I get that. But for a reoccurring sporting event, for people to come out to and have a good time and enjoy, I do understand the benefits to the format of a shotgun start. You know, I am not completely opposed to this concept like some people are when they jump in the comments here.
Caddyshack 2 vibes.
It is not. And again, I am not like a Live Golf spokesperson. By any means, I love golf. I love all golf. But it's not like people think that it's just like it's a big joke. And it's really not. It's a well-produced event, and there is really good golf going on there.
Yeah, I watch golf for the music, said no one ever.
Do you watch football for the music? No. But does that mean it's silent? No. Like, go to a baseball game. Dun, 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 dun. You're not there for the organ.
Yeah.
But it adds to the atmosphere.
And when you're going golfing, it's hard not to have music and play.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If you don't like the music, go to a different hole.
Yeah.
It's not on every hole. Like, you know, they had the party hole there.
Yeah.
It's a blast. It's a great time. But you go to the other side of the course, go to the the front nine instead of the back nine, you can't even hear any of it.
No.
It's not like, it's just blasting out every square inch of a golf course. It's just not. It's you have to see it to understand it.
This one's funny. I don't know how watching golf works. No matter where you are sitting, you can only see 5% of the game. That's so true, though.
That is true. And again, that's what I was talking about with the earpieces at the majors. But here's what I will say. How Live Golf helps with that issue. They have giant screens all around the golf course that are showing the broadcast. So you can see from the course, like some live updates of what's happening, in the rest of the field and the rest of the round. I mean, which I think helps a ton.
And we're switching over to Instagram now. First one, the cool thing about Live is the 11 enthusiasts. Wait, what? Okay.
The 11 enthusiast fans at every event.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a terrible take because there was 45,000 people at the Nashville event. 45,000.
That's a lot.
That is a ton. And listen, again, I don't want to knock any events. I am not trying to speak poorly on any other golf tour, but the John Deere Classic averages around 20,000 people. It is a substantial event. That is just that's a terrible take. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Genuine question. Was this your first golf tournament? This guy thinks you're a rookie.
My first golf tournament, I've been to probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 golf tournaments. I've been to multiple majors. I've been to the Ryder Cup. I've been to small PGA Tour events. I've been to huge PGA Tour events. I was at the Waste Management. I've seen the entire gamut of golf tournaments. I've been to Korn Ferry Tour events. I have been to Korn Ferry Monday Q qualifier events. I mean, I've literally been to it all. So I'm sorry. This was not my first golf event.
Not interested in carnivals. I love carnivals.
But here's the thing.
It's not a carnival, though.
Just because you're adding elements of fun doesn't make it a carnival. You go to a Major League Baseball game, and when you're on the walk around area outside of the bleachers or whatever it's called, I don't know what it's called. Okay, they've got things where you can throw a pitch and see how fast you're throwing a pitch.
Yeah.
Like, does that make an MLB game a carnival, or does it just add some fun for the family?
Yeah, like you got to have something if you want the really broaden your viewers and the people that are coming in. You have to have these things for the kids. You can't expect like an 8-year-old kid who loves golf to want to sit there all day and not do anything. Like they have to have something to do, which that's why we're going to end it here with a really good comment. Really good comment right here. I agree. We attended Live Nashville too. I was expecting a circus, but it was not. Very family friendly, still respectful of the game, and some added fun. That's a perfect way to end it.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's the best example.
Sums it up. People get in these comments. Why do we even, what? Joe Rogan, I'm a big fan of his show. He says all the time, stay out of the comments. Nobody wants to be in the comments because the stuff people are writing, it'll drive you nuts because a lot of the stuff that's being said there it's from a take from people who haven't been there. And you've got to check it out. Again, I wasn't paid to be there. Somebody asked that in the comments also. This is a paid video. I wasn't paid to go. I went on my own money. I wasn't paid to be there. I wasn't paid to post that video. I put a lot of time and effort into doing that because I like diving into the golf world and then sharing it with people who are interested in learning more about golf and the things that surround it. I made no money on that. I didn't even make money on TikTok because I've been demonetized.
That was ridiculous.
That's insanity. But we don't even have to get into that. So I made quite literally zero money on that video. And then if we were to add up my expenses and what it costed to make that video, it is quite the opposite. So I'm only saying that to say that it is an unbiased opinion. You know what I mean? I have no skin in the game for any side or anything. I just want to cover golf stories and find out cool things and put them out there into the world of golf for people to have that moment of saying, "Oh, I didn't know that," and that is all, and that is why I do it.
And like that's the thing. Like you have people who you have baseball fans, football fans, but there's also fans that are like diehard to one team.
Yeah.
Let's say PGA's one team.
Sure.
And Live Golf's another team.
Yep.
There will be diehard fans of the PGA Tour.
Of course.
And diehard fans of Live. But there are also fans out there that love the sport in general.
Yeah.
So, like, I know people that are like, I'm a baseball fan. People ask, what do you mean by that? It goes, I like watching a good game.
Yeah.
Like, it
That's
doesn't
a great
matter.
take. That's a great take.
It doesn't matter who's playing. It depends on if it's a good game or not. If it's a one-shot game or a one-shot round for the finals on 18 and the two leaders are right next to each other, that's something you're going to watch all day long.
I mean, really, if you are diehard for one team, because again, I'm not a big team sport guy, although I do appreciate the team aspect of Live, but I'm talking about other professional sports. Players come and go. Coaches come and go. Managers come and go. What are you diehard for? The logo?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, my favorite player who I've been following for a long time. I'm rooting for them and I really want to see their career progress. It's not you're just diehard because you were born near this place. Like what is it? Like why can't we just appreciate the skill and the sport and watching people compete at the highest level?
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's like, grew up in South Side of Chicago.
Yeah, you did.
White Sox.
Big time.
But I also grew up a huge Rangers fan.
Oh, see,
So
you're
Texas
breaking
Rangers.
the rules.
I'm breaking the rules.
You weren't born there.
No.
You don't live like right next to it, so are you allowed to like them?
I guess not. But I also love baseball. Like, I collect baseball hats.
Yeah, you do.
They're like, why do you have all these teams of hats when you're supposed to be one? I'm like, no, man.
What are these rules?
I love baseball.
What are these rules? Oh, yeah, you're not allowed to like that. Like,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's messed up.
Like, is that like, I thought you only like pizza. What are you doing eating a cheeseburger? You said you like pizza. Hey, guys, he's not a pizza guy. Like, no, I love pizza. Chill out.
Yeah.
I'm just having a burger. They're on the grill. It's a great time. I'm having fun with my family.
I think people need to experience it before they could say anything.
You do.
Yep. That's just how it goes. All right. Now, let's
jump off of Live and get back onto the Open, the British Open, that's happening this week. They're currently in practice rounds. I was supposed to be at this event, but my schedule got jammed up. I ended up down at the American Century, which was a fantastic time, but it worked out where I did not end up in Scotland this week. I wanted to be there, and I will tell you, I am having severe levels of FOMO right now.
You got some FOMO?
Deep FOMO. Only because I was at all the other majors this year, and I felt like I've been on this journey with these guys and getting to cover it from the inside and in the media center and ask these guys questions and really be inside of the event. It's tough, but it'll also be fun because I haven't had a chance to watch a major golf tournament
on TV,
from the couch, enjoy it, soak it up, take it in. So the bright side of it all is I will still enjoy it thoroughly, but it's tough for me. I've never been to Scotland. There's so much to it that I really was excited about, but things work out the way they do, and I am not in Scotland at the Open. But I have a lot of thoughts about it, but honestly, quite frankly, more importantly, whose thoughts I do care about. I am curious what Gizmo has to say about the Open and see if he has a take on it. And if you do, Gizmo, please share if you have anything.
The British Open? No, I mean the Open.
Thank you.
I don't understand the name change, but my gnome brain thinks that a live golfer is taking home the trophy.
Ooh.
Yeah, I said it. Come at me. I'm fucking Gizmo the golf guru.
Jesus.
And I know everything. I would love to see you guys try to come at me in the comments. But anyways, Dan and Josh, what are your predictions of the Open?
Wow.
Settle down, buddy. Jeez.
Have another John Daly. Jeez.
This guy's all fired up. Someone should give him a John Daly and a back rub or a front rub. Either way, you know what?
I just got...
Gizmo mentioned live golfers doing well at the Open. I don't know. Do you think Bryson's run continues?
I think so, man. I mean, he's playing good over on the Live Tour
Yeah.
after. Like he's not winning, but he's
but
still
he's at top of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be playing phenomenal golf and not necessarily take that win, you're in the top. And because here's the thing, I don't think that this style of course is where we're going to see Brooks Koepka make his return to the stage to win a major. But I don't know. Bryson DeChambeau is such a versatile game. I think. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I really wish I could ask him some questions this week at the press conference about it.
Yeah, that would have been cool. He would have been like, "Oh, hey man, hey trouble."
Also, Rory.
Maybe.
I mean, here's the thing. As much as we've been just dumping on him the last couple weeks, we're dumping on him because he just missed the win at the U.S. Open. He was playing at that level. He missed one putt that mattered more than everything, two putts if you really want to add up what costed him the round, the tournament, the trophy. But at the end of the day, he was there. He was in the scoring room watching the TV to see if he either won or if he's going into a playoff or if he's taking second. I mean, that's it. He was there.
Yeah.
So he took a little time off, changed his number, took a little breather, stonewalled Tiger Woods for a couple weeks. Do you think, maybe, is that what he needed? Maybe.
And do you know who else is his name has been coming across, especially from the celebrities from the American Century, is Jordan Spieth.
Dude, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. That was one of the questions I was asking at the American Century I was asking the celebrities who was their pick for the British Open. And the number one pick was Jordan Spieth.
Which is nuts.
Crazy. Which at the same time, I don't know. I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater with Jordan Spieth. I do feel like that greatness is still in there. I do feel like that there at any moment he could somehow burst through, make his way back, and just surprise us all at any moment. I just think it's in there. I think I don't know. And I don't think it's like lost and he's got to go on some sort of like spiritual journey to find it. I think it could happen overnight.
You know what I would love to see?
What?
And it doesn't even have to be this week, just sometime this year. I want to see a JT Jordan Spieth shootout.
Ooh.
I want to see it again.
Ooh. Yeah.
Those
guys.
two running the leaderboards.
Yeah.
1-2, one shot, two shots back.
Yeah. What I think is fun too is that dynamic of they're really good friends.
Yeah, that's why.
Really good friends until
someone wins.
The tournament starts.
Yep.
Once the tournament is going, it's like, dude, I am going to crush you. I'm going to step on your throat. I'm going to do whatever it takes to beat you. When it's over, I'll give you the biggest hug. Whatever, doesn't matter. We're hanging out. We're going to be playing some rounds of golf. We're going to be whatever, flying around in our private jets like we saw in Full Swing, Netflix season 1. But this weekend, you're my enemy. And I love that dynamic.
I love how they could just switch it.
Yeah.
Like
light switch.
Yeah. Like I know I can't do that.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a competitive depth that they have that I don't think I do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that level of dog is in me.
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, you beat me. Like, we ain't friends no more. Like,
yeah, or like we're out there and it's like, he hasn't won in a while. Maybe it's his turn. Like, listen, second's not so bad. I'll be so happy for him. They're like, no. Second is last.
Yeah.
I will beat you.
If you're not first, you're last.
If you're not
Bobby.
first, you're last. Sign the baby's forehead.
Yeah. That's full circle right there.
It is. We just got back to the top of the pod from the bottom of the pod and everything in between.
Oh, that's huge.
It is huge.
Now back to, we kind of got a little off topic, but who do you actually think's got it?
All right, if I'm going to throw a wild name out there, if I'm going to just take a big old long shot, I'm going to say Ludwig Åberg.
He's hot.
He's hot. He's hot and he's due. And I think this dude is going to have a fantastic golf career. And there's just going to be that moment where it's like, oh, I remember then that's when it all started. Like there was, like boom. He played the 2024 British Open, and that was the first of many majors. It sort of kicked off the whole thing. I think it's possible.
I got a couple. I got a couple options. I would like to see Scotty get another one.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like hop on a bandwagon, so I'll pick another one. I would like to see like someone that hasn't like Oshke.
Oh,
I would
Akshay?
Is that how you say it?
Akshay. Yeah.
I want to see a lefty win, man.
Yeah.
I want to see a lefty win so bad. Me being a lefty golfer, I would love to see, a left stick just jam it in.
What? That's what she said. I feel like the I don't know, the element that adds so much variability to this tournament is the Scotland style links golf course play. And it is so different from US American golf.
It's fairway or nothing.
I mean, that's it. If you are not on these wild, fast running, rolling hills fairways, you are in this fescue and you are dead. And there's so many times that at regular PGA Tour events and even at other majors, I mean, we did see it a bit at the US Open where if you were off that fairway, you were like 90% dead. You would have like a small chance. But out there, I mean, that stuff is above their knees and it lines the fairways and it's a death sentence to that hole. So I don't know. I mean, these guys who just pound the ball, go find it wherever it is and just kind of make up the difference and get up and try and score birdie. And if not, grab a par and get to the next hole. You're not playing that golf out there. And to me, that's why I feel like it changes the dynamic of who we see as the average winners on the PGA Tour, from who are the top contenders when you get to a course like this.
A tournament like this will bring the dogs out.
The dogs. The real dogs.
What are you predicting low round is going to be?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely do not think this is going to be a PGA Championship, seeing 20 under or wherever we were. I don't see that.
Individual round.
I do think we might see a little more scoring than the US Open, the 6, 7, 8 under. If I were to throw a number out there, I'm going to say the winner of the Open, 12 under.
Total?
That's going to be the final score is my guess, 12 under.
Yeah, that's around what I was going to say. I was going to say for individual round, I'm saying that the lowest, 5 under.
Yeah.
For individual round.
Yeah. Well, no one's doing that 4 days in a row.
No.
That's not going to bring anybody to 20 under.
No, and they're going to be, if it happens in the first round, they're going to be up by like 3 strokes.
Yeah.
It's going to be either one person is going to play really freaking good or the whole field is just going to be struggling.
Yeah. Well, when we're back next week, we can verify how close we were or were not on our.
We'll be taking notes.
Yeah. All right, Josh. That's all I got.
So I got 2, man. Except we have one last thing.
What do you got?
We cruise around the internet a lot.
Oh, all right. And you've got something.
The closest out, Gizmo actually has something for us.
Hey, you know what, Gizmo? If you want to chime in with something, feel free. I feel like I've already done a lot of talking, and I almost feel like I've been rude. So
here we go.
Feel free. Whatever you got.
What you got?
I found this story on Reddit yesterday whilst I was taking a shit.
Oh, man.
It's titled, "Good Luck, Tyler. We Hardly Knew You." I played with 2 friends yesterday morning. They paired us up with Tyler. Tyler looked like a golfer. His bag and clubs looked the part.
Okay.
Nothing about his swing suggested he wouldn't be able to find his way around a course. Tee shot on 1. Tops his drive. It rolls maybe 40 yards. "Want a breakfast ball?" we asked. "No, I'll just hit my hybrid from there." Shot 2, shanks it. It goes 150 yards, but way right. Shot 3, shanks it. He tells us he's picking up and going to hash 2. We finish the hole and meet him on the hash 2 tee box. Tee shot on 2. He tops his drive again. At this point, he politely is like, "That's all for me today, guys. I'm heading in." We tried insisting that it was fine and he should play. The course was slow, and he wasn't holding anyone up. Surely he would find it eventually. But he insisted, quite pleasantly, that his range session had been bad, and he didn't want to keep shanking it all day. And with that, he walked away. He paid $70 to take 4 shots. And then he just left. I've never seen anything like it before, mainly because I don't golf with bitches like Tyler.
Whoa.
Okay. Thank you for bringing us the story from when you were taking a shit.
I hope it came out good.
I've been there though.
Yeah.
I mean, I've definitely been there. I don't know that I've only survived 4 shots, but I've definitely had a day where I've contemplated leaving the golf course. Here's what I have done. I've skipped the hole. Like if I'm off and like I'm playing around and something happens, like I just can't get it together. I don't know what's going on and things are just falling apart. I will skip a hole. Like I'm just like, you know what, guys, keep playing. I'm going to sit in the cart. I'm going to regroup. I don't know what's going on. Maybe the Bev cart will come by and I can grab a little something. But I've never left after 4 shots though. That is just a commitment to I'm out.
I'm not good enough to even like complain about hitting a bad shot. Like that, I just think that's like more of a mental thing. That's like, dude, you got something wrong with you.
Fair enough. Thank you, Gizmo. Thank you, Josh. Folks, it's the Dan's Golf World podcast. Find us, subscribe, come back. We'll see you next week. Right here, the one and only Dan's Golf World podcast show. Good night.